All right. Hello, everybody. It's Alien Spaceship, and I. Some situations have been going on with the weather, and this is why last night I wasn't able to do the live that I usually do, and the reason why I'm doing a short live now is to update you all about what's going on, and also to talk about, what happened in general. And throughout the stream, I may talk about the topics. I may say something and say it again if people come through and they ask a question. Right. So basically, there is bad weather coming in from the west, and it was down here in the south. And basically, what happened was, I came here, and it was a little bit early, and I was watching one of the Chris Hansen reruns when he was catching the predators. And then what happened was the power went out, and it would have gone out a little while, maybe around this time, a little bit before the initial live stream. They usually do the late night lives for the people on Thursday and Friday nights. So, hello, Mary. Good to see you. So basically, what happened was the power was out, so I couldn't really do a live, and I could have done it from the phone, which I could do next time. I didn't really think of it, and also I do like to preserve the energy in the phone and things like that. But yeah, so the power was out last night, and it kind of flickered a couple of times, and it went off. And then around 2 in the morning, it went back on, and there we go. It was on. So I'm okay, my mom's okay, my family's okay, and the people in this region are okay from the incident that happened last night. There was a lot of winds, there was a lot of commotion going on, and also eventually what happened was at some point there was some sort of a shaking or a jolt I felt and other people felt last night with the weather. So basically, some people were thinking it was an earthquake, which I would have to ask our friend Kaz on the channel. I would have to ask him, which I haven't done yet, if there was some sort of earthquake down here, which in this region, because he knows about the earthquakes. But so what I thought at the time was it was a bolt of lightning that must have hit something, because when a bolt of lightning hits a tree or something, it could be pretty intense. But I don't really see any evidence or signs that it hit anything over here in this yard, because when a bolt of lightning hits a tree, it's really something. It's really traumatic looking. It just nukes the whole tree pretty much. And so unless it happens somewhere I'm not seeing, I don't know. So the storms came in, and we had these candles that are battery candles, but they are still very similar type of candles that you would have if you lit one. So when the power went out, I got my candle, and it's like, it basically turns into the 1800s or 1700s. It's an interesting, very stormy weather. I like stormy weather, and I like the rain and stuff, but when the power goes out, it can be kind of tedious, and especially when you're doing something on the computers, things like that. Variety of reasons why you would want the power on, but it's also it was kind of like being in some other time period also. And I was kind of laying in the bed and looked at my phone, and I'm thankful for those that were concerned about the weather on my end. And so those that may be just tuning in, I'm talking about the weather experience I had last night, because I wasn't able to do a live stream that I usually do at night. And yeah, the power was just completely out, and it thundered and lightning. A lot of that happened. And the main thing about this specific storm is that it caused this really, really powerful winds. Yeah, the Stone Ages, Mary, yes. It caused really powerful winds, and Mary could correct me, but like 80 miles per hour. And basically, my street was off, but the other streets were on or in the surrounding area, because sometimes where it's these different grids, everybody's on, people are in different grids. And so with the grids went out, it was my street and a couple other areas. So it was a little bit cringe, I'd say, very cringe. But eventually, around 2 in the morning, the power came back on, and I was very thankful. Nice seeing all the different lights and stuff I have on. Those of you that watch my streams, I kind of have some light. I have like one of them was one of my friends was saying it was like a disco lights. It's like these Christmas lights in the background. It was nice seeing different lights and stuff back on, and it was like the Stone Ages. Like, it could be Italy, like Rome from the ancient times, or it could be 1800s or whatever. It would have been nice if they ever make that Tesla system, where not the Tesla car. I'm not talking about that company. The Tesla coil was originally intended to have wireless signals to send electricity to houses wirelessly. It would be nice if they could do that at some point, but instead they used that Tesla coil system for Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So that's really cool with the Wi-Fi thing, that they're able to do that, and the cellular towers and stuff. But it'd be nice if they had cellular electricity at some point. And also what I like was if they had more solar panels in the city to make it like solar when the power goes out, because sometimes hurricanes and stuff can cause that. But, sometimes with the city, they like to be goofy and not do things correctly. So hopefully they could get things right. But yeah, it was frustrating. And I'm okay about the weather that happened. And I was watching the sunflowers over there through the window, and it was just like pushing them down. And everything was kind of going back and forth. No tornadoes happened that I know of. But in some parts, tornadoes happened. But not in my region. My specific part of town. Or my city. So I'm talking about the weather, and basically Mary says Bob Breck, which is a meteorologist in the local area in New Orleans, said he's retired, and said it was being called I don't know this word, derecho event. What happened with the weather? Yeah, and I don't know what that word means exactly, but that would make sense because it does have the meaning. I do think I know what it means. And basically, yeah, it was certainly very catastrophic. It was horrid. And like, it wasn't like a hurricane, but it was something very similar to that. And the winds, it was pumping. Yeah, Mary says she hasn't heard of it either. And I remember I was walking over in the living room, and I saw, because I had these 2 electric candles in the fireplace. The cat likes it. And, it was, I was walking around with one of the candles, and then it's like, it's really pitch black. And they said the candle thing's interesting and stuff, but it's also, especially the history of the city, the power outages doesn't really bring people like too many good thoughts. I don't think it brings anybody good thoughts, but especially in this specific city, it doesn't bring people good memories about certain things that happened. But so then Mary says he said this evening in his weather report. So basically, and the reason why I did this live stream, I do like doing the lives a little bit earlier sometimes, just it's kind of random. But so basically, one of the reasons why I did the live stream when I did it was I wanted to do this before the weather got bad, for you all watching the reruns of this, that everything's okay. As I said, hopefully, God willing, it continues to be okay after tonight. But everything went okay. Just the power went out, then it went back on, and it's like I could have been streaming, and then it could have gone out. I mean, it happens. And like some of you all that watch the stream, sometimes there are some issues. There has been issues with the connection during weather. Sometimes there's issues with error, some glitches with the Wi-Fi sometimes, and I fix them. So basically, yeah, but I wasn't able to do the stream, but I will be doing it. I'll do those streams again about the different topics that I was supposed to do last night. I'll do those streams within this week, next week, etc. And I've been doing the different videos and stuff. So I'm glad for those that were concerned about it. And like, I was watching the different clouds, and they were moving. Like, you could see they were undulating, which means, kind of moving in waves. So they were moving around in waves, and then what happened was, then I would see some light. and it would be the lightning coming through. And sometimes it kind of flickered a little bit, and then it would just go back out. Then it officially came back on during the time, as I said, around 2 a.m. It was, had the lights on, everything came on, the fans, everything came on. And it was good to have everything charged beforehand. It's always good to have that prepared and a different charging equipment that I like to have in that situation. And, basically, like, I like talking about the different trials and things I watch and other news and things that are going on. And, yeah, that has been doing well. Well, actually, there has been some debates going on about that and particular things, and this week it was very nerve-wracking and tedious, but it went smoothly towards the end. And also, with the garden, there's different flowers. The sunflowers are sprouting. What I meant by that was that the sunflowers are blooming. Yeah, Alien Court. Yeah, I like that. Alien Court. Yeah, so, and basically, with the, these tornado warnings come on the TV, and they were talking about, the different tornadoes that were going on, and and then as I said, I was watching the Chris Hansen rerun when he was catching the Predator teacher, and then what happened was I was watching it, eating the s'more snack thing, and just kind of watching it, and and I also was like listening to the Twilight Zone, and then boom, everything just went black. I'm like, well, obviously the power must have gone out or something. And am I looking around? I'm like, yeah, it looks like the power must have went out. But I, assumed it would be quick. It would be quicker than Hurricane Ida when it took a week to bring the power back on. The Hurricane Zeta. The good thing about Hurricane Zeta was that it was very cool weather. But with Hurricane Ida, it was very hot. So it wasn't as pleasant. Because, it's humid. It's 90% humidity where I am right now. But still, basically, it's not, it's like, I feel cool air, but it's still humid. Matt. Hey, Matt. All right. I'm going to rant to you about what's going on. Those warnings are stressful. Okay. So, bars are very good. Yeah, those s'mores, yeah. Okay, so, Matt. Basically, what I'm talking about is I wasn't able to go live last night because of the weather that happened. My power went out completely. And also, it was like, I was watching I was saying a moment ago, the Chris Hansen rerun, and then it all just went black, and the power went out because there's these horrible storms coming in, very powerful winds, and they knocked out the power in this specific grid, not the back street, but this street, and in some other parts of the city. So then what happened was it became medieval. So I got we had the electric candles, and it's kind of, and I have this candelibrium thing on the wall, and I have that on, and it looks like, you could say from ancient Rome, or it looks like 1800s or 1700s. It's interesting. But then again, at the same time, it's kind of sucks in another point of view from the power being out. And then, I remember I got the candle, and I was walking around the house, and then there's this fireplace where there's these other candles, these electric candles there for the cat. And then that was on. It was interesting. It's like a fireplace, and the other Christmas lights weren't on that I usually have on in there. So what happened was, I was walking through there, and it was storming, and it was thundering and lightning and stuff, and it's like being in a movie. And then what happened was, I just I had these emergency charging kits that I have, like Dracula's Castle, and it's very, Gothic-ish, and it's like 1800s, because that's what this place would have been like without the electricity. It was like that in the 1800s and stuff. So it was interesting in a way. And also, thank you, Cass, for the information. I'll read what you're saying in a moment. So basically, what happened was, with the, while I was walking around the house, and I put the candle back in the candelibrium, and I drank some water. I had water with me, and this. That's funny, Matt. So then I was going and kind of like resting, and I had my emergency chargers and stuff like that, and then it flickered a little bit, and then around 2 in the morning, it came back on completely. And so that was good, but it would have been, I didn't do live because I didn't know when it would come back on. And the problem is, it's like right before I would have done any kind of live stream, if I did it early or late, whatever, that time period, it just went out completely. And I'm always leery of how the weather's going to be, because it can get pretty wild down here. Yeah. So yeah, I know, Matt. When are these ghosts are going to get to the chase? Exactly. They put us all in suspense. And Kaz says, Alien, the storm in Houston, not nature, it's man-made weather modification event. Okay, well, thank you for telling us, Kaz, about that. And Kaz, I have a question. Was there any earthquakes in Louisiana? I'm just curious, because people down here were saying, Mary was saying on Reddit that they saw, some people thought an earthquake, a small little earthquake jolt happened down in New Orleans. Are you aware if anything happened? Because, I thought it was just a bolt of lightning hit something. Oh, you haven't checked. Okay. Because I thought a bolt of lightning hit something, but it felt like a jolt. And kind of like a rocking. Because, as I said, I thought a bolt of lightning hit something. Because it does that. And other people said that, it was a small little earthquake. Okay, Kaz says, I'll send in a few minutes when I'm home. Okay, thank you, Kaz. Thank you. Western Tennessee had 3.8 yesterday morning. Oh, okay, well, thank you for that information. So, basically, with the weather, and the neighbors in the back, they had their lights on and it was, shining into this yard when it was dark, so that was nice of them to do that. And, yeah, last night, I was going to talk about, before the weather got bad, and as I said, it's going through the southern, the deep, deep south, and it's going towards over here to the east. Red Lobster closing is the reason all these natural disasters are starting. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. And about Red Lobster, yep. And then this morning the weather was kind of bad, and I was telling my friends in the other chat, and then electricity went out, then it went back on, and then it went back on, then it went out, then it went back on. So it was being bipolar, but it decided to stay on, and it's been on the whole day. And I want to do this thing before, in a couple hours, it's going to get probably bad again. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as last night, but, we'll see. So that is the reason why I am doing this now. And also, I hear the crickets and things chirping. And it was like, hello, Stranded, good to see you. So basically, Stranded, what I'm talking about is that I wasn't able to do the live stream last night, and this stream is kind of like a shorter one. It's not like the one to do in the computer. So basically what happened was, last night there was a horrible storm that occurred, and before any kind of live stream could have possibly been done, the electricity went out. And I was watching the Chris Hansen rerun, and then it was like, it all went black. And there, it was also like watching a Twilight Zone through the other ear, and everything went black. I'm like, okay, the power went out. That's what it seems to be, and there we go. So then what happened was, I went and, got the emergency chargers, and I was using my phone as a light, and then I went into the room. Hey, Jay, welcome. Hi, y'all those Texas storms. Oh, well, technically, I'm in Louisiana, but yes, it's from the Texas storms that are coming through that direction, yes. So technically, yes. So basically, everybody, what happened was, the weather, it came through here, and it was, the clouds were going crazy, and the wind was intense. And then, as I said, I was listening for something, but so the power went completely out, and then I had this candlebrium on the wall, and then thank you, middle ground, thank you. So basically, what happened was, and I got the candlebrium, the electric candle that I have, and basically I went and I was like walking around the house, and there was these, it's a big room, as you all know, because in the corner I do the live stream, but none of the lights are on, none of the Christmas lights or any of the things are on at all, or the Halloween lights or anything. But the lights, the battery lights from the fireplace for the cat was there, and as I said, it was like the 1800s or the ancient Rome, 1700s, whatever, and it was like that era, that very long time period. And then I was just like kind of walking around a little bit, and I figured it was best to get some rest. And then I put the candlebrium back on the candlebrium, and I was kind of observing it, and I was seeing that the corn's doing very well, by the way, Stranded. The corn is very much taller this year than it was last year. And basically, I was watching, and all the plants are okay, but I was seeing the sunflowers. It was pushing the sunflowers. It was pushing them down, everything down, but they got back up. And it was this one grid. It was this one grid on this section, to that street, to the other street back there. So what happened was, the back of us, very nice people back there, they had their light shining into this yard, and and there was some light, you can see what's going on. That was nice of them. But their electricity's on, but not this one. And Mary's saying that the electricity went out earlier for no reason. Yeah, it does that here sometimes. The electricity could go out here for no reason sometimes. For absolutely no reason, just randomly. But especially with the severe weather we were having, it was mainly a storm with the conduct of severe weather via wind. More of a windstorm than anything. It did rain and thunder and lightning, but it was mainly a windstorm. And then, thankfully there was no tornadoes in this specific region, and I'll stay safe. I'll do the safety measures, and I do like doing early lives. This is cool. But also, another reason I did this is that later on into the night, it's going to get kind of bad again. And I was watching the weather, and I usually can observe the weather and guess that it's going to be a certain way. And like sometimes like the Weather Channel will be wrong or something, the radar will be wrong, but being here, it's like I could tell. Yes, Jay, there certainly was. Yeah, it was severe winds. Yes, indeed. And basically, was it Optimus Prime or Bumblebee? It was Optimus Prime this time. Yeah, shout out to Bumblebee. He'll be coming this night. Yeah. I love Transformers movies, Matt. You know me so well. And Stranded said, good that your garden's okay. Storms can be a mess. Can mess things up. I got a little baby tomato already. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. And I was about to say, I made a hybrid word because, Matt knows I invent things. I invent words and phrases. I was about to say tormato, like a tornado and a tomato, a tormato. So that is basically so it's good that you got a baby tormato. Yeah, but anyway, it's good that you got the little tomato. Yeah, so, and then, like, I was thinking about things, and, like, yeah, so during Hurricane Ida and Zeta, the power went out for a week, but Ida was unpleasant because you had this situation where it was very, very hot and humid. But in Zeta, the cold front came in, and it felt great here. It felt awesome. I know. That's something else I made up. Yeah, because I said a word last time, and I was supposed to say something, but I invented in my head a hot bucket of mess, something like that, and and a hot buckets of tomatoes. Hilarious. I'm a comedian, and we're all a bunch of comedians here. Yeah, the funniest chat on the interwebs. Yeah, so basically, with the Transformers, it's more than meets the eye. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. And then Linkin Park's song starts playing, What I've Done. Yeah. And so basically, with the storms, it's quiet right now, and today it was like kind of cloudy. And yeah, be sure to drop some bars next. It stormed and it rolled in like like a volcano, and then it was like rolling up like a burrito, and then it splattered everywhere like a fallen taco, and then then the earthquake went and shook, and then it went and rocked, and then the lights went out, and basically all the power outages happened and everything went pop. Hot bucket of tomatoes is from the Campbell's. Hilarious. And so basically, Stranded, what happened was this, and it was a little bit of bliss. The other time I was live, I went and I spoke some verses by mistake, and I nailed it like a vampire with a stake. I said, a hot bucket, a mess, something like that. And then I was like, oh, I made up a new thing. And then Matt is now flashing the bling of what I said, and now he's also saying it because I came up with these new terms. Because when I say these terms, it becomes a new thing. It's even something worth a sing. The city likes to be dumb and not do things right. Sometimes the mayor is just like a fallen pear that's splattered because they're going over to Paris and doing different things in luxury while not fixing up the city. That's such a pity. I'm going to get on these people and get witty, because sometimes the city can be bleep, like shitty. I know I just said the curse word, but you all wouldn't have understood if I didn't say it. And then it's like, this is a verse I gotta lay it. The piper's right there. These people not taking care of the city right, they gotta pay it. Word. Especially after that situation last night when the power went out, it made me really fired up. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That was a good one. I like that movie. Matt said, I shall henceforth call pot of soup a hot bucket. Facts. Yeah, drop a beatbox on these rocks of facts. Pour some brandy. Henceforth, a pot of soup. I jump through the loop. These people that did not make the city wiring right is a hot bucket of poop. I would say that even in a loop. Here you go. You don't get gumbo, you get soup. Yeah. And yeah, I saw that. I saw it a couple of times. Stranded. Y'all can look at the sky. Look. You see, you got some clouds coming through. Like Rue. Just cruising like Blue. And that's a very old tree right there, by the way. Yeah, so we just got some things coming in. Yeah, we got some things coming in. It's like a bunch of mess in a bin. The truth has to come out. I will write it in pen. Truth is written with a pen. And then said like Ben 10. Stranded, good movie. I look Baby Alien to see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Didn't I, Alien? Yes, you did. Train. All right, Train. Train. It's like the storm that came through is high on cocaine, leaving trails of it through the city. That's such a pain. Going through all these power outages did not destroy me, but made me stronger. And it caused me to rise and last longer, and then blow like the strong horn. and scare off all the enemies. And also, yeah, so basically, I like the different, it sounds like the little critters in the yard are dropping bars too. And also, what happened was, you know, what the character Ben 10, he wore the wristwatch, didn't he? He wore the wristwatch that summoned all the monsters at one time. And then he got after the people, and he went after the people that did the crimes. The monsters were toast. And then he would turn the knob on the watch and then press it. And then you would have a roast. That's what he would do. And he had, I believe it was his grandpa or his uncle, I think something like that. And then he had, I don't know, his sister, some other girl with him in the RV. They used to travel around. And Jay says he's in Florida. Power grid is really good. Well, that's great. That's great. Because in the city of pity, they don't always get witty. And I think that it's time to put them in their place. I brought Matt with me just in case. I think right now I'm spraying just like Mace. And the storm rolls through and turns the power off. People in the city got to focus more on fixing the grid than going to Paris and putting and taking down different things and making our city a silly thing. People are cringe and they go on a binge. The pride and then shame. I drop this on their head, and now there is complete pain with no aspirin or cocaine from Matt. Facts. Bars. All right. Supposedly, we're getting the storm rolling through here early morning and rain all day. I can't go out and play. I wanted to go and plant some green beans, but looks like it'll be on hold. That is so wrong. The weather is so cold, so bold, but it'll fizzle out like the mold when you freeze it. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade and take the lemon and squeeze it. You can't make everyone happy, so don't try to please them. Give them Cheez-Its. Yeah, I'm showing no mercy tonight. I usually don't, but especially tonight, I'm not showing no mercy. Yeah, the cops in the background. So, basically, oh, Mary, it's the neighbors in the background. There's neighbors back there. They're like, on Friday night, they come outside on their back porches and they talk, or whatever. That's what you're hearing. And so, they're way out in the distance. So, and yeah, sometimes you'll hear like some of these police cars go wee-hoo, because sometimes certain people may do things that are bad in the city sometimes. Facts, Matt. Matt got bars. Cheez-Its are my Jesus. Facts. I like that. I feel literally right now this chair I'm in is sinking like quicksand. I'm like listing over like this. Like I'm like leaning this way, but it's like sinking. I'm like, it'd be like this. I know, right, Matt? I know, right? Crime, what? What crime? They can't do nothing wrong down here. I know. It's hard to believe, but it happens. Great people. Throws a wrench in things. Some hurricanes are wenches that go and do bad things. I can think about many different things to say. Put an iceberg in the Gulf of Mexico. Send the hurricane back to Africa. then it could go back and sink under pressure of the quicksand. Because now these bars I'm dropping are now bands of dough. I want you all to all know the hurricane is not going to cause me to let go. See, it's like I could twist everything around like pancakes. Yeah, I was known for rapping with my friends and stuff. And I'm like, I never did that on YouTube, and here I am. And so I was glad that you all get to see. It's been many, many years since I've done that. I used to like text my friends stuff, and they would be surprised that I built a whole entire YouTube channel on not the rapping stuff, but other things. Yeah, do a rhyme with orange. All right, so then we have these people in City Hall talking like the annoying orange, going around and squeezing, and then they go and talk, and I turn them into juice because they're so big with their lies, they're obtuse. And then they go and march for comfort, and all they could become is the diabolical rotten orange juice. Because these people are oranges, make them into juice, then I'm pouring them all over this ice. They're not nice. Get a toothpick in them. I could see it from here. The corruption of their teeth. They reek. It's time to go and sleep. Okay. I am going on a grape job. It's time to go for these people to stop. It's time. Okay. Seeing chat. Thank you, chat. Great. I did a great job. It's time to go and get these people to stop rocking their johns, because all they're doing is sitting on the john, switching up the water pipes in the state of Florida, the state of oranges, because they're going out and snorting crack like it's going out of sight. It's going off the market like they got it from China. And then you got so many apples, the forbidden fruit, and it's now time for them to stop being the forbidden fruit of lies. Apples to apples, grapes to grapes, oranges to oranges. It's time for these messed up people to be exposed and then get sprayed by a hose of oranges, apples. Call that fluid liquid Chex Mix. All right. And the haters know that I'm talking about oranges, because when I start pouring, they know I'm pouring it. All they can afford and get is McDonald's. And they say, with all this corruption and all their stupidity, while everybody hates them and tears them down in diabolical revolution, they say I'm loving it. As the pig rolls around in its filth, it's time for them to get the worm out of their apple, because all they have produced for all of us is crapples. Word. Nuts to nuts, bus to butts, nuts inside of nuts. You're welcome, Matt. Because it's like people that say that the size of a knight statue matters. But I say the knight size does not matter. A knight can be any size, like the tiny one in my house. Look at all these haters, they don't know the difference between pants and a blouse. I just pinch these haters, they go ouch. They need to focus on the beam in their own eye and get a new couch, because it's full of lice. All these mice are not nice. It's time for them to fly a kite. To go fly high, go into space, and get zapped by me and my spaceship crew. At true, no God will bless you for corruption. You reap what you sow, corrupted people in the city that are doing stupid things. It's like, oh, I didn't do nothing. Mayor's gonna go and flirt around, in my opinion, with the dude and get blasted all over the internet and fizzle out like a hurricane when it went too far over land in the small town, in the countryside. New Orleans can be a joke, but I don't get the punchline. Yeah, Slice. All I ever wanted was the dream of no corruption to be finalized. But the dream was not violence. The dream was not destruction of each other. A house divided against itself will not stand. Just ask Matt. He has all the bands. Okay, Stranded. Be right back. A rat-a-tat-tat. Look over there. I see my cat. Where the power is out, where's the leadership? Where are they at? I think we need to bring Cat in a Hat. Can do better than trolls and moles and ogres like Chad Daybell and Pryor. What a doofus to hire. I'm just focusing on these haters and these ogres because they all need to pull up their flyer. Why do so many of these corrupted people, they don't focus on their own problems and what's in their own eye, but they have to focus on what everybody else is doing? Like like the city. They should do things where the city's better at handling certain situations, but nah, they don't want to do that. They want to start marching. They want to just start marching. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, Slim Shady is dead as he's locked in his basement. Also, Dr. Dre's in there too. Jay, thank you for coming and chilling with us. Good night to you. Sweet dreams. I'm in the limelight. That's the beam that I'm in. Free YSL, free little Jeff. That judge needs to stop tapping into his feminine energy and go to bed. Because right now, letting loose and dropping the lead of words, nothing else. So I could be condescending too. I'm going to tell you all what was going on, okay? So the other day, there's a situation with the Chad Daybell trial where there is an error from the lady typing out the information, and then it caused suspense, and everybody in the chat in the room paused in suspense of bitter annihilation that he would not be responsible for the deletion of JJ. And that's not okay. There was different sides that felt admiration for the defense attorneys trying to do their job, letting emotions maybe get the best of them, but they meant well, but they realized their errors. But guess what? I was there dropping facts, and I prayed to the Lord with my friends in the chat that the judge would see that because there is some sort of typing error, it doesn't mean that he should be let off the hook for that specific crime. And then Chad and Pryor, for a moment, we're not whining. And then they were saying that Pryor may have had a point, but then with prayer and patience, the judge ruled in our favor that he was still responsible for JJ because of morals. And when you simply have a situation where someone makes an error typing up something, doesn't withhold the evidence, in my opinion, in the court about the crime in question that was said, now that is something. And then there was a celebration when all the prayers were answered that Pryor's attempt failed, and the hours of suspense lifted over all of us, and we all in the chat made up that had different opinions. We're all cool because we're all friends at the end of the day, united under a common cause. And also another thing with Chad, he is not rad, and he was not off the hook for the JJ deletion. Now that's a completion. All right. So there you go. And, there are some different opinions some people had, but they're cool people. They just had admiration for what defense attorneys do, but, they understood that, maybe they're being a little bit carried away with it. But, all the people, we're all friends, all good, and I have nothing against anybody there. We all get along well. We're like a family over there. But yeah, as I said, maybe some of you don't believe in prayer, but prayer worked in this situation. Amen, I'm glad that it did. Because it's like, even the aliens wouldn't like Chad Daybell. Of course I pray to God, but the other thing was like a joke. Because Chad is an ogre and not a nice bloke. He's like a decrepit frog with poison all over him. A poison dart frog, but he's also a toad that crooks. Him being a prophet, that's a joke. He's a loony like Charles Manson. He put all those people under a yoke. I just dropped orange juice all over them. Now they're soaked. Right. So, yeah, those are some bars I was dropping on Chad Daybell and Pryor. Sometimes when people have stupid cultic thoughts and want to do bad things to people, in my opinion, they need to just sit down and have a Coke. Or you could go to Matt for Coke. Yeah. So any new court cases? They're talking today. What happened was they were talking about the Alec Baldwin one. So they got the lady that was responsible for the armory. They got her, and they found her guilty for the crimes. And now they're doing one for for Alec Baldwin. They did a hearing today about him. It was a Zoom call between the judge and the defense and the prosecution, and the lawyer made an excellent point about the situation. And then the Karen prosecutor was acting all stupid and getting emotional, and the judge said you can't interrupt him. And Chad was saying he's $1 million lawyer for that. And then it's like, I was making jokes about it. I'm like, you a fish, because they showed you the Zoom call, and they showed the prosecutor, her big glasses and her face just looking at you like that. And I'm like, you just you me back, got my snacks, got the whole pack. Hopefully it's not, it's all on the ice, not lice. All right, anyway. So basically what happened was with the trial, I was so basically I was saying, like, when they showed the prosecutor on the Zoom call and her face was like this, it was like, I'm saying, like, you just a fish just trying to chill in a fish tank, and this big giant Karen just staring at you, and you're just trying to chill, and everybody thought it was funny. And also, another situation, it was like, you know you're like some, like, shrunken person, this giant lady's just staring at you because of the way they had the position of the camera and all. But yeah, the judge's camera looked normal, and the defense, they looked, it was perfectly fine. But like, she was just like, and also I said, which I've said before about some of these people I see, she looked like the librarian, and Mary would like this. She looked like the prosecutor. She looked like the librarian from Monsters Inc. Hilarious. Yeah. Because we crack jokes and stuff. So there will be the Alec Baldwin thing coming up, but there's different trials that are going on they don't even cover because there's so many of them. Like, there is this incident, which is kind of graphic for people, so just give you all a warning. There was a 16-year-old girl that was deleted, and what happened was this dude that was... And then what happened was, so Strandon says they were forced to identify indefinitely suspend trial against DJT. Oh, okay. Thank you, Stranded. Thank you for the information about DJT. I know who you're talking about. Thank you. So basically, as I was saying, and then this guy that was, like, driving her around and stuff, he was saying, oh, she was going with this cowboy in the green truck, and he was going with this sketchy guy, and this guy just let her go with the sketchy guy, and then unfortunately the 16-year-old was missing, and then it was like, I'm thinking, you let this girl you're supposed to, like, watch over go to this this truck with a stranger, and sketchy and all this stupid, very suspicious individual. Is keep an eye on that guy. So, and yeah, we're talking about the orange dude. And so basically what happened was they went through these things. Eventually they found the remains later. It was, like, really horribly done. It was like this blue tarp in the middle of a flat plain, and they found different things that you would find, like, at a scene like that. And, like, they had the condom they found there and stuff like that. And because you would have DNA there. And then they found the deceased girl there. This is, like, one of the trials that which maybe they'll cover this one, but this was another story from Law and Crime that I was watching. And I was like, I watched the little documentary about it. And then it's like, this fellow's suspicious, and they couldn't ever find the green truck with the cowboy in it. It's real descriptive. And then he was brought in as a suspect, and his DNA matched, and he was the one that did it. And they brought him in for questioning. And they, and he was talking bad about her. He was like, oh yeah, she would go with all these guys and stuff, and she was just, like, promiscuous. I'm using the word promiscuous. The guy wasn't really smart enough to use big words like that, but this, it was like, the dude looked like a moron, like some stupid moron that lives in a bucket somewhere, like, or some, like, tin can. It looked like an idiot. So yeah, but he, get what he deserves for doing that to that young girl. And mother was, extremely upset, obviously. And that's why people gotta watch your surroundings, gotta not go with strangers and stuff, or people that you think are your friends are just trying to delete you. And I'm glad that I was blessed and it happened to me in a situation. I'm glad that my family, was, protective of me, and all of you as well that are here. But, but prayers to the family and to the girl and people in other situations like that. Yes, a hot bucket, Matt. And also, in the situation that it was just like he's a straw man fallacy. So the green truck and the cowboy hat dude, that's a straw man fallacy. And it was the spare time. And the dude was a moron. It's like this blue tarp in the middle of just a little ways, a couple of blocks from their secluded town in the middle of nowhere. That's this specific area I'm speaking of. And then you're gonna go and put like this tarp over it, and not even like try to like, not that I don't delete people, so I wouldn't know, but basically just the dude did everything like stupid. And so, but it's good that lock them up, throw away the key, people like that. And I think it's good to have lawyers to defend people, especially if they're innocent. Like in my opinion, the situation with YSL, the Johnny Depp. But in certain situations, I think that certain people need to be locked up. And I've seen some of the law school lectures, and it's like basically this lady was talking about like, there's situations where someone may be defending somebody that's real bad, like someone did something to a kid or something. And it's like, some situations they could do things to steer it away from the people's favor, so they would ultimately lose it. Because, the lady was like, the professor was like, he understood that certain situations, there's some really evil people that need to be locked up. And I think that people could admire defense attorneys and stuff, but it's good to also, there's certain situations where people just got to be locked up. In some situations, people are innocent. There's, they'll do DNA. And 30 years later, the people were innocent. They didn't do it. So, that, we don't want innocent people being locked up. So I do think it's necessary that everyone should have a fair trial. Absolutely. And have an attorney to do their job. But at the same time, some people need to be locked up also. I think we could all agree on that. And we could all agree that an orange is orange. We could all agree in apples to apples, hearts to hearts, carts to carts, Mario Kart. Uh-oh, here I go again. But anyway. She's saying, yeah, him. Not allowed to put his name, a certain orange man. You're fired. I'm so funny. Anyway. So, this chair is sunk. This chair has sunk too deep, okay? It's like quicksand here. All right, it's sunk because it's really swampy here, and it rained, and the soil is just not being soil right now. It's being quicksand. All right, I'm sinking in. I was sinking for a second, which I'm gonna probably sink again. Anyway, it's probably gonna be awkward. Well, Mary, I am a hot bunny. I'm basically Bugs Bunny. So there you go. Matt, I think that's what caused that earthquake last night. That must have been what it was. Matt, you should be a detective. You and I would be the next Sherlock Holmeses, and we go solve cases. Because you're a part of our alien cult. So I know you would use the alien powers too to get that down pat. What's up, Doc? Stranded, I am being nice. How am I being? Oh, I know, but sometimes I understand what you're saying, but sometimes we got to roast and boast. No probing. Moby Dick is mobing. Moby Dick's a book I like to read. And I know that probably make a whole field day, a whole thing about that, those two words I just said, but I mean it as the book, literally. And then I go and hop. And I hoping. Scared. Is your chair made by the dude that built the Titan submersible? Yeah, it is. So what happened with that was, like, last year at some point, he was a whale of a good time. So basically what happened was I was doing this thing where, last time, Stockton Rush came through, and he said, without further ado, I got this chair just for you. One day you could go enjoy my submersible. And I said, get lost. You're not my boss. And he went on his wooden horse he built and slid off. So yeah, this was from Stockton Rush. Yeah, Mary, it was a joke. Okay, so the real story about this chair was, there's this individual that my family was friends with for many years. His name is George, and he passed away of old age. I think, like, now those are birds, but they sound like bats that fly around here. But those are, and I don't know, they're probably bats. Whatever. Shout out to bats. So anyway, so basically what happened was, there's a situation where, and he passed away of old age. And also, we were people closest to him, so we had, like, inherited things. So the chairs are one of the things we inherited. And I've known him since I was a little kid, like little toddler. So shout out to George. And also, so basically, yeah, so I was keeping up with the trials, and it was, as I said, that when it was a big suspense, very stressful, and, Kathy Smith was like, she's a friend of mine, she was like, it was intense. I'm like, yeah, it was intense. Then the YSL trial, Steel is roasting the judge again. And I remember one time they're playing these calls about fried chicken. These people were talking about fried chicken. How does that have to do with them being affiliated with gang activity? How does it have to do with anything like that? And also, like, they need to show evidence and proof if he really did do gang stuff. It's like he was just like an artist, like a rap artist. Ooh, some little critter was on my ankle. All right. Don't be eating the bats. I don't want to go through that again. Well, for you, Stranded, I won't, but it was tempting. Yeah, bat fried rice. You see, Matt's tempting me. He's tempting me again. Yeah, I'm going to put some gravy and some spices on it from my garden. All kinds of things. What I'm going to do now is we're going to look at the garden. All right. Anyway, yeah. So basically, yeah. So now what I want to do, I'm going to show you all the garden. It's getting really interesting. Wuhan Solo in the house. Yeah. I was nicknamed Han Solo because of my name, Hansel. Let's go for a walk. I'm Winnie the Pooh. It was a question. All right, here we go. All right, we turn the lights on. Aight, here we go. So we had some flowers growing. All right, now the good news about this time, now the corn, they're all kind of different sizes, but they'll grow over time. Look at this corn. It's getting, like, taller than I am. It's getting very tall. But right now it's the same height as me, but it'll probably get taller than I am. And look, see? Look at that. It's developing. As I said, they're growing at their different paces. But see, remember Stranded last year? The corn was so small. It's getting big. It's getting big. Right now it's my height. It's really big. And then we have, more, and they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. This is cool. This looks like a different color than that one. So cool. All right, and here's the exciting part, the sunflowers. It's a miniature sunflower. Yeah, you remember the baby corn. Yeah. Shout out to baby corn. And then we have right here. Here's some raccoons in the distance. Sunflowers. All right, and this one just came out. Today. I just saw it today. It smells so good. All right. Here we have some more. They're coming out. These are going to be a little bit bigger than the other ones. Now look at that. Y'all are the first ones to see this. You know, it's coming out great. Now it looks like, unfortunately, the storm blew this one completely over. I'm gonna have to fix that. You know, that's unfortunate, but you know, the other one's doing all right. Caribbean flowers. This one lived its life, and these other ones are taking its place. I hear frogs. All right, that's the beets. Something was eating on it, but it's still doing good. In Stranded, I've been eating mint. I have been eating mint. I've been putting mint in my tea from this. It tastes so like menthol. I know that's like a cigarette thing, but it's like also, but it tastes like so surreal, you know. Which I'm talking about, like the little menthol stuff you put in your nose or whatever. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I don't smoke anything, but so yeah, basically, yeah. It's like spearmint. It tastes so good in the tea. And we have this. We have a little critter. Yeah, it's a grasshopper. You're famous, buddy. You're on YouTube. You have anything to say? It's your moment. Okay. Right there. That's the pineapple. All right, and right here, I planted some more daikon, and I planted some peppers in here, and we'll see how that goes. And this is a pumpkin from last year, and I usually let them kind of rot out, and then I collect the seeds, and they just grow pumpkins everywhere. And this time, I know what to do. I'm gonna get a net. And last time I planted pumpkins a little bit too late in the season and the cold got it. So this time it's good to start early. This is an elephant ear plant. Thanks, Mary. This is elephant ear plant, and this is a descendant of these other big plants that I grew a long time ago. They're all over this area. How radishing. My veins are poking out my arm. All right, so it does that normally. All right. are more of them coming up. And these are descendants of other plants that used to be here years and years and years ago. This one I planted, it was 2 of them in 2017, like the night of my graduation, or the day before, something like that. And all these descendants of that plant all over this region. These are some other plants that kind of grow here I use for like privacy hedges. The Native Americans, the Indians, they used to grow these and cultivate them for things. And I still have a use for it, but most people just see it as like a thing. Like it kind of grows on the side of the interstate, but I got the seeds from down the street and I brought them here from the plant. All right, yeah, that was a short little garden tour that I do. And also, basically, I like, doing that, and the progress of the garden is going very well. And I'll continue to update y'all as time goes on about that. Yeah, how radishing. Yeah, and so far the sky has not been causing any problems in the sense that it has not been becoming like stormy. It has just been, being cloudy and very humid. You can see it on my face. It's all that's humidity. And the mint I brought here from next door, and I brought it over here a couple years ago, and they just kind of reproduced everywhere. And I like seeing the generational plants. It's pretty cool. And there's other things going to be growing as well, but I just haven't gotten around to plant the other seeds yet. But I'm glad that this start off of the season's going great, because this time I'm having more rain. Because, like Matt, like last time I had a horrible drought, and it kind of it affected the garden and everything. So that's why I'm glad that this time I'm able to, there's more rain here and it's helping out than before. All right. Because, one of those years I grew sunflowers and they went all the way up to the sky. They're skyscrapers. They were skyscrapers. And seeing how this batch does. And hopefully this time the elephant ear plants get bigger with the more rain that we're having. And because those elephant ear plants nearly grew over the house, but Hurricane Ida came and ruined the elephant ear plants that year, and they just decimated and it wore them out. That really sucked. Matt, thank you so much for coming. I'm about to end it soon anyway. So thank you for coming and chilling with us. And okay, now I'll check my email, Stranded. And also at the moment I can't check it right now because I'm doing this outside. It's different than the computer stream. But yeah, I'll certainly check it. Certainly. Yeah, I'll look at it. And also, and the reason why I do like doing the phone lives sometimes, but also another reason is like because of the bad weather that's coming in later tonight, it could affect the usual streams I do. But I do like doing these phone lives. And Stranded, I'm glad that you're getting to see this live, the phone live. You haven't been to the phone live before. And also, but as I said, through the, hopefully tomorrow or sometime this week or next week, tomorrow I think is bad weather, Like, whenever the weather is not bad, I'll do those other streams. As I said, I do want to do, various times. Hopefully this weekend I could be able to get it done. And you're looking out for that on Sunday. And I also do the late night streams. Next week, hopefully the schedule can resume the normal schedule. And also, news about Anthony McQuaid. So basically, with Anthony McQuaid, he had his heart surgery. His triple bypass heart surgery that he had last Friday, and he's going to be in recovery for 8 to 16 weeks. But he's okay, and he's thankful for the prayers and stuff for the people that knew about it. Yeah, Stranded. It's okay because Liza Jean, she asked me about taking callers, but it's like when I'm on the phone live, it's a little bit different. I could go inside hypothetically and look at it, but I couldn't bring it up on the screen. Would have the new app will have that, but on this one on YouTube, it doesn't do that. And also, and Stranded, in the next stream that you're on, when I'm on the computer, I'll show it to the audience. And also, Stranded, I hope that, and also everybody here, if I didn't already ask, I hope that your week has been going very well with everything. And also, Stranded, something that with some of the plants in the pots, I think it's best to use potting soil like what you're using and if you're not using potting soil, you can correct me, but which I think you're using potting soil, that's good to use in a pot because it's more suited for those plants. Amen, Stranded. Amen. And also because sometimes when things are in a pot, they don't always do too as well without potting soil. So yeah, that's good to use potting soil. But things do fine in the ground though. And yeah, I love the way your plants look. They look amazing. Oh my goodness, you stupid mosquito. Cringe. You got the raccoons doing their own stream in the distance. Oh, you just don't give up, do you? All right. And I forgot the bag of things I usually bring out here because I was in a rush to get this stream started. I said it right. Okay, good. Yeah. And yeah, so with the storm, it was cringe, and hopefully this time the power doesn't go out, or if it does, I'll be all right. We went through the Hurricane Ida and Hurricane Zeta, and I was in the Hurricane Ida. Like, we were going to do something with a cat, and man, it was like I wore my boots because I knew it would probably try to blow me over, and yeah, those boots helped anchor me in the ground. It was a wild hurricane, and when you go through things like that, it does toughen you up and get experience from. And something that, like my stuffed animal, my stuffed teddy bear needs to toughen up more and do more work around the house. And also, I will I'll send you the pictures of those other sunflowers I grew a long time ago. I probably showed you before, but I'll show you again. Mary says, I remember that, Alien. We went during the hurricane. Shout out to Stinky. So yeah, Stinky's the teddy bear from my childhood that I was talking about. Yeah, and you know what? I'm sinking again. It's like this. Whoa, okay. I sunk. See, look. Look at that. I'm sunk. It's quicksand down here. Mary, the chair no, I don't want you to move the chair, Mary. The chair is fine. It's just because of the weather, it's causing the soil to sink and be marshy. So it always works. I don't want you to move the chair. Yeah, please don't move the chair. Yeah, Miracle. I love Miracle Grow. But I'll tell you this, Stranded. Down here, contrary to what it may seem, it gets very cold here and it freezes and it always kills the plants when they're left outside. So I put some of the plants in the pots so I could bring them inside during winter so they don't die on me. So I could have them for a little while. So as I said, it can get very cold. With the humidity, it gets even colder here. So, I mean, yeah, so... But yeah, with the land I have, I could grow different things. I could grow peppers and then put them in a pot later. But yeah, or cover them. It's very cold here. Oh, okay, Mary. You weren't being specific. But thank you for clarifying. I misunderstood you. I thought you were going to go move with a Timbuktu or on the roof or something. It's a joke. It's a joke. And Stranded is jealous of me for my maze of mint. Put a plyboard sheet under the chair. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. That I'll do that when I locate one or get one. Thank you. And also, basically, oh yeah, I hear a frog right now. That's what I want to say. I'm hearing a frog in the distance. Addie would not like frogs. She wouldn't like being here right now. Yeah, so basically, and sometimes I'll see the frogs hop around and stuff. It's interesting. So, but basically, as I was saying, Bubbles has been doing a lot of things in the house, and he likes to attack my leg for fun or whatever. So, and then Bubbles' brother likes to eat food and just exist, and he likes being pleasant as well. And sometimes the cats like to pet him and stuff all the time, and I play with them too. And I hear some raccoons somewhere in the woods somewhere. They're playing with each other, or fighting over something. Yeah, that's what that is. And also, I want to say that with a lot of the different things I'm doing with the plants, I'm glad, as I said, the rain has helped, and the time that I planted it helped. And frog legs. Yeah, frog legs. I'm familiar with frog legs. And basically, with the frog legs, I'm familiar with that, yes. I've heard some stories about frog legs. And so basically what happens is I like seeing there's different types of things. One time I saw a red-eyed tree frog. It must have came here through some import somebody brought here, and then it got loose. Like I was talking before, when I was a kid, I saw the Mexican raccoon. My friends and I in another chat were determining what on earth it was that I was seeing. It had a long snout and it was brown, and it was a Cucamundi. It's from Mexico. And when I was 2009, I would see it, and also 2007 probably. I would see it, and I wondered what it was. It was so fascinating. It was so mysterious. It looked so different looking, but it was a raccoon. And I was just like, what on earth is that? What other mysterious creature am I going to see? And then I know what it is now. And, I don't know how it got over here. It's kind of suspicious how it got here. It was after Katrina, but yeah, I don't know. But a shout out to the little critter. It was interesting seeing it. And it's very different than the other raccoons. And, basically, and some possums. I've not seen any possums today or tonight. I've not seen them. And I'm sure all the critters went inside because of the weather. Because It was wild last night. It really was wild last night. Yeah. So, my week has been going good, and I am, been working on different things and topics and stuff. And I'm glad that I'm doing that, and also thankful for all of you as well on the channel. And also, I will update you all as I go with the plants, how it all goes with the different things I'm growing. The rain is doing its thing. And as to the news, as I said, which I'll do another stream about the different topics that I want to talk about. She said they hiding because of the storm. Yeah, thank you. And basically, I will do another stream about what I intended to do last night and tonight. I will. But for now, this is what I did instead with the other topics that I'll talk about. So there was another protest that the terrorists were doing, and at one of the colleges, and the police force moved them out. So another one happened. Yeah. Cringe. People have so much hate. Well, that's good, Stranded. I'm glad that you got that. Yeah, that's good. See, look at that. All behind me. So ambient. All that. It looks like Sleepy Hollow. All right. And also, I want to let you all know that I'm gonna be ending the stream. This little stream I do. These things, the phone streams it's not like the other streams that go on for a long time. And I covered everything I want to talk about, so when we starting to end it, so everybody could say their final thoughts and things before I end it. So basically, the final, and I'll press that automatically uploads a phone stream as private. So I'm going to go back and make it public, and so everybody could see this rerun. So basically, I'm glad that I was able to do this, and I'm okay from the bad weather from last night, and praying this time it goes well too with the bad weather that's apparently coming within an hour or so. And also, just talking about the storm and different things of my experience about it last night. All right. And Stranded said, did you see they tried blocking the road? Disneyland in Florida police was there in minutes arresting them. Florida, don't play. Did I see them? They tried blocking the road to Disney in Florida. Police was there. Oh, I didn't know about that, Stranded. She's saying, did I see they tried blocking the road to Disney in Florida? Police was there in minutes arresting them. Florida, don't play. I didn't know about that, Stranded, but they don't play for sure. I know that from the 2020 situation in Florida. So yeah, I'm glad that they got rid of them and they don't play. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. My shirt. All right. Yeah, I think they do have their own police. Yes. That would make sense. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, Stranded. All right. Let Anthony know we're praying for him and hope he gets well soon. Okay, Stranded. And Stranded, it was nice seeing you. Thank you for coming. All of you watching, listening, thank you. Have a blessed week. All right, peace.